My broke husband planned to run away with his affair partner, so he sets me up for divorce to take my money. I found out and exposed both of them. Since meeting my husband, I have always talked about my plans to retire when I turn 40. I have shaped my life around this goal, lived frugally since college, and made sacrifices to reach it. We got married in our early 30s, so it has only been 7 years since then. My husband also saves for retirement, but will not be able to retire until he is at least 62. He has chosen to spend his money on things that make him happy, and I fully support and encourage him in that. Everyone has different goals in life. I currently do all of the cooking, most of the finances, and about 25% of the cleaning. Recently, he made a casual comment about how he is going to start working more overtime once I retire because he will have to pay more of the household expenses. This is where the problem started. He denied that I pay 70% of the expenses, even though we planned this out and budgeted together based on that. I tried to stay calm, but his comment sparked an argument. He became defensive and started accusing me of things, which made me very frustrated. I told him I would go through our expenses to prove it. While I was reviewing our expenses, I found a charge on my husband's credit card from 2 weeks ago that I did not recognize. It was a significant amount, so I looked into it to see if it was a household or personal expense to include in my calculations. I discovered it was a bill paid to a law office. Naturally, I wanted to find out why he was being billed by a law office. I looked up the office and found out it was a divorce attorney who specializes in property division. I logged into his email. I have proof that he has given me permission to access his email at any time to review expenses and expense-related issues, and found his conversations with this lawyer. He was trying to find a way to overturn our prenuptial agreement so he could get half of what we agreed upon and also try to get alimony. I had no idea he was unhappy until we started arguing on Saturday. That morning, he surprised me with breakfast in bed, which was unusual since it was not a special day and he almost never cooks. 2 weeks ago, we had a Star Wars movie marathon and even had a lightsaber battle around the house. He has also been getting me flowers at least once a week for months now. I could not understand why he wanted to divorce me without even trying to tell me how he felt. When I went back through the earliest emails from late July, I found a woman mentioned whom I will call Ashley. I needed to confirm my suspicions without him realizing I knew what was going on. On Saturdays, we often get takeout, so I purposely left my phone upstairs and asked to use his phone to order food. I pretended to take a long time to decide, which made him go downstairs to finish what he was doing, giving me the time I needed. It was hard to act normal during those few days, but from Thursday to Saturday, I made a plan. I spoke with a divorce attorney, scheduled a consultation, and gathered all the legal and financial documents I might need. On Saturday, when I finally went through his phone, I found Instagram messages between him and Ashley. By looking at the messages in her account, I learned a lot about her. Ashley seems to be a nice woman he met on Tinder back in May. She's 27 years old and married to her high school sweetheart, who does not earn enough for her to stay at home. Since my husband worked and had lied to her about how much he makes, he seemed like a better option to her. He had even lied to her about wanting to have children, telling her that was why he was unhappy in our marriage. I do not know what he thinks she will do when she finds out he had a vasectomy. Ashley is apparently willing to be a proper wife and do all the traditional duties. Her words, not mine. From checking the dates, I realized that when he was supposed to be hanging out with friends or at work events, he was actually with her. She even has a strange work schedule that allows her to come over to our house on the days he works from home while I am in the office. She believes that after they both go through their divorces, they will live in our house together, get married, and have children. My husband has gone along with everything she says. He told her that I am lazy, that I hardly make any money, and that I wanted to quit my job and do nothing, which is why he finally got the courage to leave me. He also told her that he is being extra careful in the divorce because he does not want to leave me with nothing. He said I changed my mind about having children and that I am denying him his right to continue his family line. You might be thinking, how did you not know? The truth is, I had no idea. I must have been foolish because he fooled me completely. I am trying to find some humor in this, but I am crying as I write it. I just got back from my new attorney's office with a lot of forms to fill out, and I am so overwhelmed and still feel confused. It feels like this must be a really bad dream. I reached out to Ashley's husband, so they are probably heading for a divorce as well. He seems like a nice enough guy, also completely shocked by the affair. Last night, I told my husband I was divorcing him and that he could either sleep in one of the guest rooms or get a hotel room. He chose the hotel. So that is my update. Our prenuptial agreement has a 99% chance of holding up in court, But we also have an infidelity clause that I am hoping to prove so I can keep 100% of the house. I agreed to put my dream house in the infidelity clause because I knew I would never cheat. He was fine with it at the time, but now he is constantly texting me about it. If I cannot prove his affair, which is unlikely considering the evidence I have, I would have to pay him about 25% of the equity in the house. That amount is enough for a down payment on another house, so he wants me to not bring up his affair in our divorce. This is strange to me since he had no problem bringing the affair into our marriage. Hi everyone. A lot of people have asked for an update and I am officially divorced, so here it is. I am doing well and have been focusing on myself a lot. I plan to start dating eventually, but I do not feel quite ready yet. I am relieved that the divorce process has come to an end, and I can now look forward to a fresh start. Hopefully, everything stays smooth, and this is the last you will have to hear from me. To make things easier, I am using fake names. My ex-husband is called Derek. Derek's affair partner is called Ashley. Ashley's ex-husband is called Jake. Going back to the earliest piece of drama in October, Derek had a meeting with his lawyer. Most of this I am recounting from Jake's perspective, as I was not directly involved. I had already blocked Derek and communicated only through my lawyer. Nothing crazy happened when Derek had to come to the house. We are guessing Derek's lawyer gave him some bad news or finally told him how much trouble he was in. Whatever it was, it led to a mental breakdown where Derek confessed everything to Ashley, telling her he was going to lose everything. It took her another day to show up at Jake's house, apologizing and wanting to make things work. Jake did not take her back, and they are also divorced now. Derek cried in court multiple times and even screamed at his lawyer once. He genuinely did not seem okay, and I do hope he figures things out for himself. Our prenuptial agreement held up in court, and nothing was deemed unfair. I ended up with the house, my car, and all of my separate property. I only had to pay him a small lump sum alimony payment. Here are some ridiculous things Derek tried to argue he should get half of, because they were not specifically mentioned in our prenuptial agreement. My rock collection, which I consider my baby. He knew this would hurt me the most. He did not get any of it. My fine china sets. They were painted by my great-grandmother and passed down to me by my grandma. I have no idea why he thought the judge would side with him on this. My car. I paid for both of our cars, and he tried to get half the value of mine while keeping his. Make it make sense. Multiple vintage furniture pieces that I flipped myself. He had no interest in them until now. He did get a few of them, plus a bunch of other stuff, so a furniture shopping trip is in order. As for Ashley, she claimed Derek manipulated her, but they are now back together, so I guess she has not had enough yet. I do not know if she knows about the vasectomy since I have not had contact with her. Jake has not told her, and she did not mention it to Jake when she tried to reconcile with him. She might know, but I am not sure. That is her problem now. And by that, I mean the whole man. Here are some other fun details. I had a divorce retirement party at my house after everything was finalized. All our mutual friends stopped being friends with Derek after I told them what happened. He still has other friends who do not seem to care about the situation, so who knows what he told them. His mom and I are still friends. She even came to the party.